What is going on, guys? My name is PUREXNOBLE. Welcome back to another video. So I want to talk about the recent community updates that was released on January 17th. Because any information that Activision had released before January 17th was literally non-existent because they weren't addressing any of the multitude of issues that was happening in Warzone, in multiplayer, in Call of Duty in general. They weren't addressing any of the shadow ban issues. They weren't addressing any of the bugs that were happening in the game. They weren't addressing any of the server crashes. They were addressing a whole lot of things that a lot of people were talking about on Twitter. And honestly, a lot of the players are really fed up. Black Ops 6 has been the most record-breaking in regards to the amount of players that have been leaving according to the Steam charts. There are a lot of streamers, there are a lot of content creators, there are a lot of data leakers, there are a lot of Twitter heads that are all trying to criticize Call of Duty because of the things that they are not working on or the lack of communication thereof. You got Nadeshot, ex Call of Duty Pro, is literally talking about the constant issues of server crashes, cheating that is happening in rank. You got Swag, which is the Call of Duty guy, right? He's been playing Call of Duty for forever, but you see him throwing up the controller, playing against so many hackers that he's tired of it. He's getting on Marvel Rivals. You see Tim the Tatman not playing Call of Duty. He's getting on Marvel Rivals. So many big streamers and content creators alike are trying to play a different game, and rightfully so, because of how many issues that are happening within the community right now and the lack of transparency and communication that Activision is not giving up until this January 17th community update. Now, mind you, I'm not going to go through every detail of the community blog post. What I'm going to do is just go over some of the major updates that I think is a dub, that I think is an L, that I think is complete bullshit, because they've said this over and over and over again. So I recommend going onto the Call of Duty's website, read through the entire blog post, and you can see the details of this community update. Now, before we get into the details of what Call of Duty has addressed in this community update notes, if you do like my content, if you do like the videos so far that you've been watching on my channel, please feel free to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We are still trying to hit a goal of 4,000 hours watch time. We're currently sitting at 3,750, so we're very close, guys. So if you can help me out, watch a couple minutes of any of the videos, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, let's get started. So let's start with the Ricochet anti-cheat team. So some of the bullet points that we listed that they've done changes on is updated detection models for behavioral systems, over 136,000 ranked play accounts banned since the mode launch, enhanced cross-examination tools focused on reducing the time it takes to action accounts, new detection and warning systems for spam reporting by accounts, and new detection and warning systems for repeat playing with cheaters behavior. Now, if you really take a look at all the bullet points that they've quote-unquote added or changed, it really honestly is just regurgitated information that they've already mentioned. Like updated detection models, they've already mentioned that before. Over 136,000 ranked play account bans since the mode launched. Now, this is not the new bans. This is just a compilation of all the previous bans that they've already done. So we don't even know if they've honestly done new bans. Enhanced cross-examination tools focus on reducing the time it takes to action accounts. They've mentioned that on Season 0 to say that it's already going to be implemented on the time of Warzone integration, which they haven't. Now they're saying that they're going to release it in Season 2, in Season 3. Oh my god, give me a break. The only real update that Ricochet gave for their anti-cheat team is that the malicious reporting is they're able to decipher malicious reporting, so to make sure that there's any bad actors that are constantly hitting that report button for no reason, whether they're cheating or not, and also a new detection and warning system for repeat playing with cheaters behavior. I consider that a dub because there are a lot of cheaters, right? But there are a lot of other players who purposely partner and team up and squad up with people who do cheat in order to boost themselves up, whether it be through rank play, whether it be getting through wins, whether it be leveling up, whether it be winning the matches. They are still boosting and playing with a cheater. And to simplify their explanation of how they're going to detect that is that when they ban that cheater, they're just going to look at the records of everyone that cheater partied up with. If there's any common names that the cheater had partied up with, that said name is also going to be either shadow banned or banned on their account as well. And like I said, this is a lot of regurgitated stuff that they said before. Look, new and improved client and server-side detection systems, already said before. Major kernel level driver update, already said before. A multitude of new tech, including a brand new system to authenticate legit players and target cheaters. I just don't understand how server-side statistics can't be implemented in situations like this. I think if you add that type of tracking, it honestly should be easy to decipher what is a legit player and what is a cheater. And then moving on to server stability, packet loss, and lobby crashing. Now, quote unquote, so they're explaining the lobby crash where I think Nachot had explained it, where the cheaters are essentially crashing the lobby every time that they lose. Like if they're not winning and they lose, what they do is they implement this feature in their cheating program that's basically going to send a shit ton of data packets to the server, where it's going to clog the server so much that it crashes it, shuts it down, where nobody wins. They said that the team at Demonware has narrowed down some specific causes of the issues that can affect all players, and new improvements have been made to Call of Duty servers infrastructure this week to reduce the targeted cases of malicious activities on our infrastructure and players. Like I said, they've said this wording before. They said it how many seasons ago, and it's still an issue. So all of this information about, you know, updating the kernel level, updating the anti-cheat, take it with a grain of salt. You know, this update isn't going to save Call of Duty. I have no faith that it's going to save Call of Duty, and if for whatever miracle reason it does, cool. I take back everything I said, and I'm gonna praise Call of Duty for it, because they actually said and did an action that proved their words. So there was an update on they did on the multiplayer side. I'm not gonna cover that. I'm gonna cover specifically the Warzone. If you guys do want me to do a cover and react to the multiplayer section, feel free to comment down below and let me know. But anyways, let's get into the Warzone changes that they're gonna do for season 2. So starting with the weapons, it says reload speeds are faster for all weapons, anywhere from 5 to 20%. I think that's a pretty good dub. Reduce penalty when sprinter fire jumping from 35 to 10%, and increase jump ADS speed by 25%. So increase on movement. I like that. Adjusted bullet penetration across most materials, resulting in more consistent experience for thicker walls in particular. Now I like this because the consistency of whether you think that wall is wall bangable or not is not clear cut in Black Ops 6 or in Warzone. So with this update, there's going to be a more uniform standard of what can or cannot be wall bangable with your weapons. Weapon swap speeds increased by 10%, effective replicating the effects of quick grip gloves, and remove burst and semi-auto rifles on low rarity pistols from ground loot. Now, I think that option, you know, removing burst rifles and semi-automatics on the ground, it's because people are getting confused whether it's a single fire or not. I think that's a skill issue. If you are picking up a weapon, whether you're in a fast firefight or not, you should understand and know the type of weapon that you're picking up, in my opinion anyway. Now moving on to the movement, increase both jump speed and successive jump height with one unmodified successive jump. Now a lot of people on the COD Twitter space are praising this because this description specifically, increase both jump speed and successive jump height with one unmodified successive jump. It's their way of saying it but not saying it, but there's a possibility that with this increase in movement and mobility, that bunny hopping is going to come back. So if bunny hopping is returning, you know, I highly recommend just practice. Majority of players nowadays have padded controllers. Whether you're a casual player or a pro player, I think paddles on controllers is starting to become a norm, and trust me, using paddles on controller is going to help you do your bunny hops a lot more efficiently. They also increase the speed of the parachute cut animation, making cutting a parachute and readying your weapon significantly faster, and increase player velocity when landing from a cut parachute land for a smoother transition into a full sprint. Now I really like this because I've always had that issue, and I'm sure other players felt that too. They just felt super slow. When you're trying to open the parachute, then you got to cut the parachute, then you got to land, and when you're landing, you got to get your weapon ready and you got to start sprinting. All of that felt slow. So if they reduce all the type of animations to make you battle ready faster, I think that's a good dub. Now moving on to the perk section, I really like this part of the update because I'm a fan of the Combat Scout ping perk, and I'm a fan of the Mountaineer perk that is returning. So Combat Scout ping is replaced with an outline that is not visible through walls. So essentially when you are shooting an enemy, rather than just having a ping, especially if they're in the smoke, and you see a red ping, that's most that you can go off from. But now with the Combat Scout is when you shoot them, instead of seeing the ping, you're seeing the outline of them through the smoke. In my opinion, I don't think they needed to add that outline because, you know, this might essentially just help casual players only. But if you're a veteran or if you're a sweat that already knows how to play the game, this is essentially just going to make it easier for you as well. So just don't think it's only helping the casuals. It's actually making it easier for both parties. If anything, it's unfair for the casual because it's already easy for you by shooting the red ping or knowing where the enemy is, even based on that ping. now you're gonna know exact outline of the enemy. Yeah, it's gonna be so much more easier and faster to beam them. And then my favorite part out of the entire update, Mountaineer returns as perk in slot 1, replacing Dexterity. So Dexterity perk is now becoming a default perk that is already with your character in Warzone. This is not going to take up a perk slot anymore, and what's going to be in place of that is going to be the Mountaineer slot. So we've increased the fall damage reduction substantially from what is currently in live with Dexterity, though not quite the powerhouse it was during Modern Warfare 3, and Veteran now significantly reduces the damage ticks of gas grenades. So I don't know about you, I am liking the movement update, I am liking the perk update. You know, let's see how the weapon update changes, because I am tired of the XM4 meta. Like, please, I've literally purposely just been trying to play with different weapons, not to try and find a meta, but just to have a different experience. You know, even though I might have to add an additional shot, but the recoil is, you know, even more intense, or if I do less shots to kill but, you know, the recoil is slightly higher, it's just I want something different. You know, I don't know if that's weird, but I've just been tired of the XM4. It's been meta for so long, ever since the start of season 0, that, you know, something needs to change. And then the last part of the updates that I do want to talk about, and I think is a really good dub for our ranked players, is that in Season 2, we are enabling the ability to disable crossplay for console players who want to compete against other console players. Now, I'm a PC player, you know, so this update or change doesn't really matter for me, but I'm really happy that the console players are getting their own type of lobby, because with the cheating issue right now with Warzone and how much it stems from PC, you know, even as a PC player, I don't even want to be in a PC lobby, because, you know, that's how bad the cheating situation is. Even though, right, I'm not going to say that there is no cheating at all on console. When you take the entire cheating category in general, not just PC hacks, we're talking about cheating with a Cronus Zen, cheating with a strike pack, cheating with modded controllers, right? When you add all of that in, console players do cheat as well. But if anything, guys, that is all that I wanted to talk about in the January patch notes updates. If you want to see a more detailed version of it, like I said, go on to the Call of Duty blog post website and you can read it there. But if anything, guys, if you do enjoy the video, if you do like the content, drop a like on this video, drop a sub to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, Noble out.